Hi, this is Josh with Resort TV 1. Today I'm taking you on a full tour and construction update at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We hope you enjoy the video. And as we come into the resort area here, we see Disney's Riviera Resort, which is a vacation club resort that will be opening in the fall of 2019. And here's another view of the construction here. And by the way, as we approach the Customs House, I want to remind everybody to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't already done so. Also, make sure you leave us a like and a comment. It really helps the video when you do that. There you can see the Riviera Resort again there in the background. It's going to be a pretty tall building, actually. And here's the bus stop here at the Custom House. And again, if you're not familiar with Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, the first building you get to is the Customs House, and that's where you check in and get your room and everything else. So let's go inside and take a look around. By the way, I have heard that the Customs House may be demolished after the Riviera Resort and the rest of the renovations to Caribbean Beach are completed, because this will be kind of closer to Riviera than it will be the rest of the Caribbean Beach, so we'll see if that happens or not. But it's a really nice building, actually. Love the architecture. A lot of wrought iron and kind of Key West / Caribbean style. I love that clock there. It reminds me of one in the Magic Kingdom. And besides the check-in desk that we just looked at, there's also a small shop. They don't have very much, just a little bit of candy here and there and chips and just a few odds and ends, beverages in the back. Here's another look at the entire main lobby area, the check-in area of the Customs House. Then if you go back past the store, you'll see restrooms on the right, an ATM, as well as airline check-in. And back outside, we can go out towards the flagpole here. There's a really nice garden and bench around the flagpole. Or flagpoles, I should say. And here's one more look at the bus stop and the rest of the Customs House. One more look at the Riviera Resort construction through the trees there. And here I'm driving, so it's a little shaky, sorry, but you can see the construction site again for the Riviera. And this is the Old Port Royale bus stop area, and I wanted to show you how different this is, but you can really only see it from the road, so again, sorry it's a little shaky. There you can see the construction entrance there, and what used to be, and will be again, the main entrance to Old Port Royale, which is not open to guests at this time due to construction. And here we are at the Martinique Parking Lot. Decided that would be a good place to park and go check out the Martinique section of the resort. And keep in mind, this Martinique section of the resort is the first area of the resort that you'll come to when you drive in past the Customs House, because the Barbados section was demolished to make room for Disney's Riviera Resort. But I love the beautiful blue paint and red roof on these buildings. So let's take a stroll through the middle of the resort here. I do sometimes hear people complain that Disney resorts are very spread out, so it means more walking from room to room and from room to the front desk and things like that. But I think it's nice that the resorts are spread out and they have these garden areas like this, because it really makes for a great relaxing vacation. And it separates Disney, I think, from other resorts where everything's in a big tower. I just love the palm trees and the landscaping here. Even just watching the video back to do the voiceover here, I'm relaxed just watching it. Alright, now we're going to head over towards Old Port Royale, which you can't get into again like I mentioned earlier because it is under construction. There's the wall blocking access. There you can see one of the Walt Disney construction quotes that they put on construction areas. And here's a fire pit. And a little beach area. Here's a great shot of the Riveria Resort here from the Lagoon side. And I couldn't find the name of this lagoon anywhere, even when I looked on a map, so if you know what it is, please post it in the comments. Just give you a really detailed look here at the construction again. This Riviera Resort is going to have 300 rooms, and it's going to be all vacation club rooms, like I mentioned earlier. I'll show you a picture here in just a second of what it's going to look like, or at least the artist's concept rendering, when it opens around fall of 2019. It actually is going to look quite a bit different than the Caribbean beach. And here's that concept art I was telling you about. So that's the Riviera Resort. There's a zoomed in view of the construction on Old Port Royale and Centertown. And before we walk over there, just take one more look at Martinique here. Just really beautiful and peaceful. And one more look at the lagoon, the lighthouse there right behind Old Port Royale. And there you can also see some of Disney Skyliner support poles there, which will be running directly through the middle of this resort. Here's a nice little relaxing hammock area, again right next to Centertown and Old Port Royale. So now I'll show you the pathway if you're walking from Martinique to the bus stops here or to the main pool area. You can actually see through the walls just a little bit some of the construction that's going on. There are a few restaurants here, but they're pretty sparse and not a lot of offerings, really just placeholders for what's to come. So you actually have to come out towards the main road here. And they've got a wall there to protect everybody from the traffic. And there you can see the bus stops that I showed when I was driving by in the car. There's the bus stops again and the construction entrance. And there you can see a map of the resort, and where those trees are is where the Riviera Resort will be. And there you can see when the buses are going to arrive for each park. And we're continuing along the main path that leads around Old Port Royale down to the food court area as well as the main pool. And that's Trinidad North. We'll take a look at that here in just a bit. First, we'll take a look at the lagoon here. You can see the Skyliner poles there, as well as a little pirate cruise for kids, which looks like fun. And the yellow buildings there are part of the Jamaica section of the resort. And Trinidad here on the left, the pink colored buildings, is split into two different sections, Trinidad North and South, separated by a road. We'll take a look at North now because it's right here, and we'll take a look at South later. It's a little further down. And what's neat about this resort is that all of the different areas named after a certain country or island, and they all have their unique architectural aspects, paint color and all kinds of different things. So you can stay at the resort in a different section each time and really feel like you had a different experience. I just love the landscaping here. So well done, so neat and clean and just relaxing. And also, if you need concierge or package pickup while you're here, it's located in room 3109. And there's a look at the island that has a playground and cabanas there you can get to right behind the main pool on Old Port Royale. And they actually have a little bit of merchandise here in a truck, because there's no main shop like there usually is inside the building, Centertown and Old Port Royale. I love how it's got Dinosaur on one side and Frozen on the other. And all kinds of different merchandise from the parks available. And here's the Cabana Bar, which is housed in a portable trailer right now. And here's the main pool. And looking across to that island I mentioned earlier, I love the reflection there. I just love this lagoon, it's so peaceful. There's another look at the bar. And this is Centertown for now, or at least temporarily housed here, the food court. And inside, it's basically a temporary tent, so not the nicest thing, but at least it's a place to eat outside the elements. It is air conditioned. And here's some concept art for what the resort will look like when it is finished. Sorry, the lighting is strange. That's actually not on my camera. That's actually the lighting that is in the resort itself here, or in the Centertown area itself, I should say. There's the Cabana pool bar, what it will look like. Some restaurants there. And let's take one more look at this Centertown tent area. They also have a food truck here, Superstar Catering. I believe that used to be at Disney Springs at some point. And here's the main pool area. I love how it looks like an old Caribbean island fort. And by the way, this pool area is called the feature pool, or Fuentes del Morro, which I looked up, and it means fountains of the snout or of the hills. So anybody who has a better translation than that, let me know. But fountains of the snout sounds kind of strange. I'm not sure what it means, but it's a beautiful pool area. Got a great slide too. There you can see more of the Port Royale construction there in Centertown. There's even a really cool kids play area here right next to the pool. Here's a little closer view of the construction from the back of Port Royale. Work going on right now as we speak. Love the lily pads in the water there. And that island, by the way, is called Caribbean Cay, or Caribbean Key, I think is the correct pronunciation. We'll walk towards that island right now. There's the Riveria Resort construction again. There's the sign for Caribbean Cay. We'll say it that way because that's how it looks, but I've heard people say it's actually pronounced Key, so leave me a comment and let me know for sure. And there's a playground area here and all kinds of great stuff, even cabanas where you can have a picnic along the lagoon. There's a fire pit there. And these pathways are really cool. They're roped off so you can't get into the plant life, which is probably good. Definitely could be critters and things hiding in there, so I think that's a safety feature as much as anything else. I love the pirate flag there on that cabana. And there's a green area for kids to play here. Could even practice some putt-putt golf there. And there's the playground equipment. Some great views and benches here. I love the reflection in the water there from the resort. That's Trinidad over there, and then there's the Fuentes del Moro pool. And as we walk along, we'll see more of the cabanas and this relaxing pathway. And here's the bridge that goes across to the Jamaica section of the resort. There's a closer look at one of the Disney Skyliner support poles. And there is Jamaica. So it looks like the Skyliner will go right through the Jamaica section of the resort. And here's some concept art for the Skyliner. Each Skyliner area has specific concept art of how the station will look in that resort or area. There's the map of where it'll go, all the way from Pop Century Art of Animation, here at Caribbean, turning over to Hollywood Studios or Riviera, and then finally up to Epcot. There's the station, and I'll show you the station construction here in just a bit. But let's walk around Jamaica here first. Love the architecture here, again completely different than all the rest of the resort. The yellow paint really adding some highlight color here. And there's the bridge we just crossed with the Riviera Resort behind it, as well as the cranes. And here's the Jamaica Quiet Pool. Each section of the resort has its own quiet pool if you don't want to walk all the way to the main pool, or you don't need all the water slides and things like that. And speaking of the main pool, there it is right there. And there's the Trinidad North section of the resort right across the waterway, along with a really nice beach and a pleasant hammock area there. Great for relaxing. There's another look back at the construction as well as the rest of the resort. And by the way, this video is in 4K 60, so make sure you check your settings and see if you can go all the way up to 4K 60 to get the best possible quality. And here's our first look at the Caribbean Beach Skyliner station, and we'll look at that again a little closer here in just a bit. This is standing on that bridge we saw earlier. And we're heading down to the Spyglass Grill, but before we do, we're going to take a look at the Caribbean Beach Resort Skyliner station. This is right next to the Trinidad South section of the resort. Here's a better look at that Skyliner station, and this will be a transfer point, I believe, where somehow some of the Skyliner vehicles will go to the left towards Hollywood Studios, and then the rest will go to the right towards the Riviera and ultimately onto Epcot. At least I believe that's how it's working if I look at the map correctly. And Caribbean Beach should be the junction point. There's the Spyglass Grill here, and this is just a small eating area. Love the sign there, it's really cool. And this is really great if you're staying here because you don't have to walk all the way to the main building to get your food. And now here's the Trinidad South Quiet Pool area. And now we're over at the Aruba section of the resort. Didn't show you the walk over there because it is quite a walk from Trinidad South, but here's a little bit of what I saw along the way. And back in Aruba here, you can see the paint color is a little darker, almost like a fuchsia color. There's one of the Skyliner supports. And you can see another Skyliner support down there by the Riviera building construction. And there will be a stop there at the Riviera to get on the Skyliner as well. And that's looking across to the Martinique section of the resort, and you can see the Disney Springs balloon there. That's pretty cool. And there's Old Port Royale in Centertown. And here is the quiet pool for the Aruba section of the resort. Love those archways you have to go through to get into the pool. That's pretty nice. Well, that's all for now for this full tour and construction update on Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to leave us a like and a comment, as well as subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, be sure to check out our sponsors, MickeyBlog.com and MickeyTravels.com, for the best in free Disney vacation planning advice, as well as WindowRepairParts.us. Use the coupon code ResortTV1 for 20% off your purchase. So for now, have a great big beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye. Now that you've finished watching this video, be sure that you're subscribed so that you can get all of the latest updates. Also, check out some other great videos on our channel. Have a great big beautiful tomorrow. Bye-bye.